everyone, it's Ninja Girl Emily, and I'm back, like I said, with the Rarity trial and retail decks. I've pre-opened the retail deck this time, so it should be a little bit easier to get into it. But this time, I'm just going to put the retail deck to the side for a moment. We'll get the trial deck open. Oop, come on, there we are. Now, just like last time with the Twilight deck, we have a playmat. So here we are. Very nice, very nice. So there's the Twilight one there. Twilight one? Jeez, that's not it. That's the Rarity one. I'm clearly a little tired and can't think of the correct things to say today. Alright, so that was the mat there, and we have the trial deck for Rarity here. Look at that gorgeous card, I love them. So I've tried to get a little bit more familiar with the Rarity, the Rarity system. I am still probably going to mess it up. I think with the decks themselves, they don't really have rarities per se because you just get them, so we're not going to think about it too much with the decks themselves. We'll focus on that more so when we get the packs out. So let's get this open here. There we go. Perfect. Right, just like last time, we've got the mat here again. So this time I will actually grab the other mat and see. As far as I can tell, they are basically identical. I can't really see any difference between these, and I don't think it would have made much sense to change them between the trial and the retail versions of the deck, so I don't think there's a difference between the mats, so we'll pop that back over here as well. And again, we've got our packs and cards for the Rarity deck, which once again I feel like it's going to split at the sides because the cards are a little all over the place in here. Yeah, split it at least one side, but there's our cover card once more. Put that there, grab our packs out here. There we go, once again we have 3 lovely packs. Maybe we will get a little luckier and get some higher rarity value cards this time, or maybe we'll get more of those alternative ERs. I think that's what they are. Yeah, alternative ERs. I'm also aware, I think I phrased it last time as if the Ruby rares only had alternative versions. If they have an alternative version, they have a normal version as well. So, you know, there's normal and then there's extra rare, Ruby rare, just to make it really confusing. But like last time, we'll pop those to the side and we're going to focus on what differences we can find between the decks themselves. I'm going to try to organise these a little bit better as well this time, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so this is the retail version of the deck. This time it's split even more awkwardly in that it isn't split enough for me to actually open the pack fully. So if I grab some cards, oh, come on, give me the ones at the top. Ah, I grab these ones. Come on, I want to do these in order. There we are. Pop these at the side for now. I'm going to have them off camera and bring them on camera as we go this time. Try and make it a little easier to follow what's going on, hopefully. There we go. That's the retail deck. And surprisingly, I don't think the sides have split on the trial deck this time, so that's nice. Let's get this open here. There we go. again doesn't want to give me the bottom few cards there. I wonder if I can grab them. Oh. It just doesn't want to let the cards go apparently, and I want to try keep them in order at least while I go through them for the first time. There we go, this is better. Go, pile of trial deck ones there. Get the rest of these out as well. Lovely. Oh. If the cards want to be picked up and not slide about too much. Problem cards, they're very slippery sometimes. Right, okay, so once again we will start off with the top cards for them both. So here we have the trial deck main card for Rarity. She is gorgeous and lovely as always, and she will get a sleeve. Eventually I'll probably sleeve up all of the cards that I'm getting in these decks. I do need to buy some more. There we go, so there she is from the trial deck, and here she is from the structure deck. I've also seen that my camera has decided last second it wants to be running out of charge, so I will go through the rest of the cards right after I have got the camera all charged up, and we'll try this again once I'm back. See you guys in a moment. And the camera is working again, so let's continue on. We'll go with, I've already forgotten which way around I did them. I think I did the trial decks first, so let's grab these. So like the Twilight deck, for those that haven't seen it, I would recommend doing that one first because that is the first of these that I did. Just like the Twilight one, for the trial deck we have Rarity's Carousel Boutique this time. That is her card for this. And we've got this kind of style. It seems to be generally what the ERs are. Now that is something. Those cards at the back, I can't find a code on them. These ones, the rest of these in the deck, they do have codes on them. And I just kind of hadn't fully realised with the Twilight ones because I'm great at this. This is the version on the trial deck, which I'm going to pop in front of it there. And then this is the version you get with the retail deck. And again, overall, they are the same card, they do the same thing, but you get more foil on this retail version. Just like with Twilight's Golden Oak Library, so that's neat. Once again, in the trial deck, we are moving on to the I don't know what you call these cards, I'm going to be honest. The horizontal cards, which are, I can't quite tell what their rare level is meant to be. It's interesting, but we've got so this is from the trial deck, like I said. So once again we're looking at scenes from what appears to be the very first episode. So this is Rarity fixing Twilight up after she'd had her mane all frizzified, continuing to do so. I love that we have just two from the same scene. This is when they initially met, when Twilight ended up with the frizzy mane, and right at the start when we first see Rarity doing her thing. So these say 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if it's meant to be like this is a scene that you can see playing out. That would be interesting. So we've got C3, C4, C5, C6. Interesting indeed. Right, these can go and pop these in front of the ERs there. Now we'll see the equivalent cards later down in the retail version of the deck, and for now we have the first of our SPR cards for the retail version, which seems to be some mannequins in the boutique. Got some nice bits of texture being picked out there. Lovely. Pop those here. Back to the trial deck now. And we've got more SPR cards. This time it is Rarity when she joined the flying contest in Cloudsdale. I'm not the biggest fan of the outfit she chose for this. I think it was a little too over the top, but you do you, Rarity. You do you. I'll pop this one down here as well. Some of these may be off camera, but it's alright. It's alright. We're probably going to be looking at a variety of SPRs for a little bit here, but again, we're just going to keep going back and forth between the two decks. So we're back on the retail version. What generally I'm finding is that the retail versions, sometimes they have the same like star hollow foil stuff as the trials, but I think the retail ones generally, at least for lower rarities, go more on the having a little bit of texture in the background stuff to pick out certain details. Pop this one here as well. Okay, now if we head back to the trial version of the deck, we've got another SPR card. Go. So here we've got, I believe this will be Rarity, and she will either be singing Art of the Dress or Rules of Rarity. Given they seem to be focusing on Season 1 quite heavily for these decks, I would guess this is her during the Art of the Dress song, and she is crafting, going off the colour, that would be her own gala dress. We'll pop this one here. We'll kind of zigzag up and down a little bit. I think that's what we're going to do. Now we're getting into some artwork that we already saw earlier in the trial deck, and the retail deck, we've got their version of this card. I like how they've done the hollow there on the wings. Very nice indeed. Right, that one's there. Back to trial deck, and we are in a different style of card now. Moving on from the SPRs to the commons, I believe they are. And we have a set of Sweetie Belle. I hadn't considered that Sweetie Belle and the Crusaders would be in these, but it makes a lot of sense. But it just makes me wonder, because obviously we had Spike alongside Owlicious for Twilight, and all the girls can probably have their pets as well. The other Crusader sisters will have their sisters. I'm wondering who Fluttershy and Pinkie will have. Guess we'll wait and see. Although Pinkie has a number of siblings, and maybe the Cake Twins? I suppose Fluttershy has her brother, but given they seem to be focusing Season 1 quite heavily, that wouldn't really make sense. Even for Pinkie's sisters. They show up in Cutie Mark Chronicles, maybe. Anyway, we're back to this Rules of Rarity look. I love how the texture changes between the table and the cloth there. That is lovely. Beautiful. Okay, so that is on the retail deck. There we go. Okay, back to the commons in the trial deck now, and we've got a set of rarities. I don't think this is Rarity from any particular episode. This is just her. Pop that one here. And now we're getting into the cards that I don't know what to call them. I guess because they have the C at the beginning, you'd think they were commons, but maybe they are, and I'm just surprised. But these, so this is interesting. This is Rarity going back with all the gems from the Diamond Dogs in, oh, I've forgotten the name of the episode, but you know the one I'm talking about, I'm sure. There we go, Rarity convincing the Diamond Dogs to do all of the hard work. Weirdly enough, I feel like this one was upside down. Whoopsie. There we go, Rarity being taken by the Diamond Dogs in the first place, and Rarity and Spike searching for gems at the start of the episode for Sapphire Shores. So it looks like potentially what they've done with these, because the Twilight Structure deck had very specifically scenes from the second half of the two-parter. So I wonder if the idea is that in the trial decks they've got scenes featuring each of the girls from the very first episode, and then for the retail decks it's just picking out an episode where that particular girl is a central focus in some way. That would be the thing that makes the most sense to me, at least. Let's pop this one over here. There we go. Okay, and now we're getting into a point where the decks are identical. So these cards I'm picking up are in the trial deck. And we've got our first Opalescence cards, or Opal, Rarity's very particular cat. Go. And as you will see, we don't even have a different texturing or anything for these. We are just going straight into the exact same cards in the retail version. Oh, come on, focus. Go. Same things here. We've got another set of Sweetie Bells. These ones from the trial version of the deck. And these ones that I'm picking up. Exact same, but from the retail version. If there is difference, then it's a very minor difference, because I looked at them quite closely when we got to this kind of stage in the Twilight deck, and I personally didn't think there was anything different enough that you could show me these cards and I could tell you this is from the retail deck, this is from the trial deck. I don't think that there is enough difference in them once you get to this stage. Finally got another card featuring Rarity here. This one is once again the trial version of the deck, and we've got the same card in the retail version here. I'm going to be doing a lot of samesies from the looks of it for a little while, because we've got yet another Rarity in the boutique compared to the same Rarity in the boutique for the retail version. We have got a difference here. We've got a difference coming up now. So in the trial deck, we've got some Opalescence cards now, some Opals. This is interesting. I wasn't expecting this. It's Opal outside, looking ready to pounce, and I can't think of a point at which Opal would have been in this kind of position, so that's interesting. In contrast with that, we have in the retail version of the deck got another Rarity card instead. On her little tippy toes, very excited about something. Would you like to focus, camera? There we go. Lovely, lovely. Okay, then back to the trial deck, onto the So we're on to use now. Those last ones I showed you were also use. But we've got in the trial deck more opal there. Go. And we also are onto opal in the retail version, but we're once again back to that more texture, a little bit less foil style. And obviously the pictures themselves are once again different. Back to Sweetie Belle now. Oh, let me just make sure I pick up all the same cards. I don't need to, but just makes it a bit easier while I'm going through this. But there we go, we've got a particularly worried looking Sweetie Belle from the trial one. Trying to remember which instance this would be, but can't think of it off the top of my head. Just save a bit of space, I'm gonna start popping these at the back here. We've also got Sweetie Belle showing up in the retail version, but this time it is her. I assume this is when she goes into the Everfree Forest with the others after they've just formed the club and they're having their first sleepover at Fluttershy's. This would make sense to me. Oh, that one can be over there. Now we're getting to that point where some artwork that we saw a little bit earlier on in the retail version has shown up in the trial version. Here we have the Rarity standing excited on her tiptoes. Interestingly enough, I thought this was the same art. The background in this is different. Let me grab the card to show you. Oh, actually, she is in a completely different pose. Never mind. Oh, that's even more interesting. So this is the card I thought it was the same as, but no, she is different. Maybe she is definitely less on her tiptoes in this picture. I must have just been seeing things. Wow, okay, interesting. I could have sworn we'd seen her in that pose already. I'm seeing things. I'm seeing too many ponies. Now in the retail version, we're on to same as we had with Twilight. We've got Rarity in her winter wrap-up gear, some lovely texture on that tree in the background because she was in fact the one making lovely little birds' nests. Adorable. And then we go on to the trial deck, and the final card there is the same one as we've just seen, but with the different texture or foil. And we've got a few left in the retail, so I think just to show that you do get a few more different cards in retail, but you also just get different cards in the structures, the trials. So there we go, we've got Rarity with some nice texture in the background there. This one is it's another U. Again, I will endeavour to figure out exactly how the Rarity system works. Every time I say that, I can only think of Rarity herself. There we go, and then just like the Twilight ones, we've got a lovely pair of Rarity and Opal to end this off as the SRs of the retail structure, and you can see Rarity and Opal both in the background of one another's artwork there. It's a nice little contrast of them. I love the art style used for these ones, these SRs. They are gorgeous. I love them. Okay, so I'll get all of this put away, I'll get some nice sleeves on my SRs, and then I'll be back in a moment to open the packs that came alongside the retail deck. I'll be back in just a moment. And we are back, ready to open up the 3 packs that we've got now. Weirdly enough, I think the cards are all closer to the top of all these, so I'm going to be cutting them off at the bottom instead. So let me just grab my scissors. They were further away than I intended them to be. Okay, so as always, Ruby rares are cool, just any higher rarities, the alternative ERs, and of course, all of the Fluttershy. That's what we want more than anything, is just lots and lots of Fluttershy. What could be better in life? Okay, so I believe we opened them from the back of the pack. I don't remember, I'm gonna be honest, so let's just open this one normally and we'll go from there. Oh, well, we're starting out with a duplicate from the previous box. We've got Fluttershy's Cottage in ER. Lovely. Put that over there. Ooh! Our first Gia! Oh, I love this. This is a beautiful dash. I will pop her in a sleeve in just a moment. There we go. So we were going from the back. So now we've got an SPR. Oh, this one's definitely new. We haven't had an apple bloom yet. Brilliant. So that's one of our commons, and our other common is Sweetie Belle. Two of our Crusaders. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I don't remember if we got the Spike and Twilight SPR last time. We might have done. I've genuinely forgotten. But this is definitely our first higher rarity card, unless you count the alternative ER for Apple Acres that we got last time. Gorgeous. Because GR, if I'm not mistaken, is the third highest. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so CR is always the highest previously. Ruby Rare is the new highest. Okay, so we are going from the back, that's what we want to do. But I think the ERs are always at the back, so I guess it's a case of looking at the ER last and saying, have we got an alternative or not? That's probably where we're at with these. So let's go from the back this time. We've got another apple bloom. That's all right. As we've established, TCG, getting duplicates is not so bad. We've got Pinky. I believe we got two Pinkies last time. I don't remember if there's different artwork for them or not, but hey ho. Then this should be our SPR. We've got a Book and Quill at the Golden Oak Library. I don't remember that one. Okay, so let's go to our ER and see if we got an alternative or a normal one. I think we got an alternative, everyone. No, we didn't. It's just another boutique. I was excited for a moment. I forgot I was going to be pulling the cards from the bottom, not the top. That was my bad. Never mind. Still, lovely little carousel boutique. And final card of the pack is Fluttershy! It may only be an SR, but it is the best girl. So we now have a Fluttershy card at long last. Brilliant. Give her a sleeve. There we go. Pop her over here. Amazing. Best girl got. Okay, that means we got one final pack. Given that we did get a GR earlier, I'm not expecting us to get much in this pack, if it is supposed to be 1 in 3. Although, theoretically we are owed one because we never got one in the any of our Twilight packs. And the alternative ER, if you recall looking at this, they should still be counted as being in the 2 in 3 packs. So, kind of owed one. I don't think we will necessarily, but you never know, you never know. Right, okay. In fact, do you know what? Let's get them all out. Oh, well, Didn't mean to show off what the ER was straight away there, but never mind. Well, now we know that we've got another Gold Note library, like out of the structure deck. Right, okay. Now we'll turn them over as we go. There we go, this is much better. So, we've got another Sweetie Belle. That's okay, now we just have 2 of her. Oh, actually, now that I've got them this way. Aha, grab the Gold Note library. Pop it there. Lovely. Okay. If I can get a grip on this one. Ooh. Got Fluttershy! Yay! More best girl. We finally got her in common. Lovely. Right, SPR now is another Twilight and Spike. That's okay, that's okay. And finally, last card of the video is another Pinky SR. That's okay. As we've established, TCGs, duplicates are A-okay. There we go, we finally got focus. There we go. Okay, amazing stuff. Well, we may have finally gotten our first duplicate of the higher rarity things, but we got some good stuff. We obviously got all the lovely things in the Rarity trial and retail structures. We got SR Pinky. We got the best girl in SR, which is fantastic. And we got our lovely GR art style card, Rainbow Dash. Amazing. Well, thank you all for joining me so much. That's not the phrase I meant. Thank you all so much for joining me for this video. There we go, got there in the end. I figured like last time, I'll decide what I'm going to open next. So we're going to go with well, we'll do Applejack next. We'll do the Applejack one next. Why not? Why not? So I'll see you guys next for our Applejack deck opening. Bye!